Welcome to the Country Hipster Podcast. My name is Paul. I am the Country Hipster, and as we are doing nowadays, we are getting right to business. The first thing that you heard there,
for Tom's sake,
was music by the Unholy Four. It is a song called Dirty Knife. And you can check out the Unholy Four. They're from Charlottesville, Virginia. You can check it out on Bandcamp and Spotify and apparently Apple Music and wherever you can find the Unholy Four. Real quick, 1027, as I've been saying, it's the first pop-up event for the Ottsville Record Garage. It is a wine and vinyl night, or as Adam likes to refer to it as Winyl.
Yeah. I like that.
Yes, it is pretty cool. At Wycombe Vineyards from 5 to 9 p.m. This is on Friday, the 27th, so just about 2 weeks from now, or 2 Fridays from now, about a little bit over a week. But this Friday, tomorrow night, I am actually playing at the pre-show. I am performing at Wycombe from 5 to 8 p.m. They do like a bonfire and all that kind of stuff, which they're going to have the night of the vinyl. But so you can stop out and do the pre-pop-up that's not really a pop-up. It's just me playing music by a fire. So there you go.
That's a lot of pop.
Yes. So real quick, we're gonna do this. We got to actually to my far left is my co-host and brother, Adam, the Country Management.
Country Management.
Country Management. Yeah, I couldn't think of anything clever to that. But go ahead and tell everybody what just happened to you there, sir, while I open up the champagne.
So I got a call this morning. I interviewed for a promotion at work on last Thursday, and got a call this morning, and they offered me the job, and I graciously accepted it. So I will be sadly leaving the store that I'm currently at, but on to bigger and better things. So I brought some. It's not champagne because it's not from the Champagne region of France, but it's Corbel. It's classy.
It is.
Brought some sparkling wine to celebrate.
We are classy here. If nothing else, we are classy on the Country Hipster Podcast. So here you go. We'll just do a little bit of this here. Whoop. A little heady. That's okay.
Do a little bit. Half the fucking glass.
Oh, yeah, I don't need that.
That's all good.
An hour drive.
Yes. Everything's an hour drive for the Ottsville Record Garage.
It actually
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. It's not that bad. You guys are like...
It really is nothing.
So... I'll put this up here. So, do you guys want a little bit more?
Nope.
Is that good? All right. So, to our co-host Adam, the Country Upper Management. Prost, Slancha. Congratulations. This is for anybody who's gotten a promotion as well.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
It's Corbel, baby.
I might have to hit that later. All right, and then to my immediate left is our special guest, third-time guest for the Country Hipster Podcast. Straight from...
Well, she's not working. I say Tom's the first, but Tom's on the clock.
Yeah, so. Tom's on the clock. He's like a part of it when we want him to be around.
Tom's the third unofficial host.
Yes, and the vice president now, or are you secretary?
No, I don't know what I am.
Something
secretary.
At Love and Buns.
Love and Buns.
Animal or rabbit rescue. So let's give it up for Kristen. Come on, Kristen. Yes. And
shall I give you your gifts now or later?
Later, we'll get back to it, because to my right we have another special guest,
the specialist of guests,
the director, producer, editor, and my oldest son of the Country Hipster Podcast. This is my son Jack. So you guys have heard Jack a few times, maybe in the background, but you've never actually seen Jack.
You heard Jack hand us a copy of NFL Blitz.
Yes,
but it's not an NFL. It was not.
It was just Blitz.
Oh,
it was like Blitz.
Okay.
Yeah, it wasn't NFL. Yeah, no, the NFL isn't going to go for anything where they
purposely injure people and
not anymore.
So I think we get this shit out of the way right now.
Yeah.
Because okay. So don't worry, you'll have your time.
You'll have your moment to shine.
Your moment, yes. Because
what do you mean? I'll have my moment. I don't know what's happening.
Because
okay.
So, all right. So, to get Jack actually on the podcast, which, first of all, have you ever actually watched or listened to an episode?
I've listened to the first 5 minutes and the last 5 minutes of every time I do a cut.
But you've never actually listened to the whole thing?
No.
Okay, so there you go. So that is my son, who is just like, Dad, I don't want to listen to your shit. But he's also the reason why this is a video podcast, because I was talking about doing this. He's like, well, you got to do a video podcast and do it on YouTube. And I'm like, all right, well, you got to edit it. And you're like, shit, okay, fine. So that's how that came to be. But the album we're talking about tonight is They Might Be Giants Flood, which is one of your favorite albums, correct?
Not one of my favorite albums, but one of my favorite
fuck it.
bands. I realized it's not one of my favorite albums.
It's not one of my favorite albums.
when I
I've heard
started
it
listening.
before.
I heard it once or twice,
Yes.
maybe.
Look, it was
alright.
one of my favorites, and then I listened to it again. I was like, they have better albums.
All right. Well, you're jumping segments now. We'll get into that.
We'll get to that.
But as a caveat to get him on here, Adam, would you like to explain what we're going to do here? Because you're the one who committed to this.
Yeah, so I think I have the text message open right here, and it was Sunday, March 5th, which I believe was when we were recording the pilot episode.
Yes.
Jack sent Paul and I a text message of a
Spoon.
what appears to be a tweet that says, "I made a new cocktail.
them.
It's called
you'll make-
Sunscreen.
Okay.
It's Malibu and whipped cream and yogurt. It smells like sunscreen. It's bad," is what the tweet reads. And then the picture is a Malibu rum Ready Whip and a coconut Chobani yogurt. The way that it's depicted in this picture, though, it's in like a mug.
Yes.
Like a little like a coffee mug.
Yeah, we're not doing
So I'm assuming that they're making it as like a drink, but there's no way that
No.
this could ever be done in any other way but a shot.
Do you think that the Chobani goes in first
We would
and
probably-
then the
I-
rum?
I think so. I think it should be the Chobani first.
Yeah, we were discussing
Okay.
this.
Followed by the rum, and then I guess topped with the whipped cream, which
I'm
I guess
gonna-
needs to be opened.
Well,
You got to stir the
I'm
Chobani.
gonna
or
stir
you
this.
put the whipped cream and then you like liquefy it with the rum.
No, I think
No.
it would,
No.
The
I think
whipped
it would be
cream
more
is definitely
aesthetically
a topper.
Yeah.
more
Whipped
aesthetically
cream's a
pleasing if
topper.
it was a
I feel
topper.
Yes.
It's like
You are now
that
the unofficial bartender. of the
blowjob
country.
shot.
Oh,
I just imagine
I've never
Tom
done that,
like
but-
Tom sees this episode and
Yeah.
sees what's happening right now and writes his like
He's
union
so
rep.
angry.
yeah, he's gonna be like, "Why didn't you ask me?" But we'll say this, Tom, that this was a very last minute decision.
Next time Tom sees me, he punches me in the face.
Yes.
And look on the bright side, he doesn't have to make this drink, but if he was here, we would make him drink the drink as
Exactly,
well.
exactly.
So now he gets to miss out on this horrificness.
But Kristen is
much?
getting. I think that's probably good.
Shall I mix it with the spoon?
no,
No.
leave it
Well,
float.
No, I
Well,
think
no,
so.
because it'll get stuck to the bottom. You have to
Oh
mix
yeah,
it.
Yeah.
you do have to
All
mix
right.
it. Oh god, this is gonna be so horrible.
What if it's really fucking good?
Oh, I know. Well, then I hope that it is. I don't think that's going to be
The
the case.
spoon
But
isn't quite big enough
Stir
or
with
small
that.
enough.
what
Stir,
she
stir,
said.
stir with the stem.
Yeah,
With a
I
handle.
have yogurt all over me.
Well,
Oh.
then there's no.
Listen,
no
there's
Can you grab the paper towels for,
Yeah.
for Kristen?
no excuses on the Country Hipster podcast.
Okay.
Yes,
No, I think that works.
I think that works. Oh god.
This one. Oh, this looks not.
Yeah,
not
this
okay.
doesn't look okay. Oh god. But no, yes,
this
this
is
was
okay.
this was the
Don't
only
eat that.
reason. Here, you could do the whipped cream. This was the only reason we
Oh,
got.
this one should have a little more rum in it.
Okay. That's Adam's too.
Let's make them even.
Even it
If we're
out.
gonna murder each other.
Oh god. There you go.
Okay.
Oh wait, hold on. Now it's not even. Okay, there. Boom. Even.
Okay.
I don't like the way the yogurt is floating around when
No,
you pour more
no.
liquid into it.
Either do I. All right.
Jesus Christ.
Okay, so first let's see. Oh my god, this smells like
smells
fucking
really good.
sunscreen.
It smells so
Jesus
good.
Christ.
In all fairness, though, just Malibu rum by
yeah.
itself
Kinda
smells like
sunscreen,
sunscreen.
yeah.
Anyway.
Smells like copper tune.
Oh my god.
I want to take a picture of it real quick.
Yeah, do
Yeah.
that before this curdles anymore.
Yeah,
Oh god.
just-
So we're doing this because my son agreed to be on here. Fuck.
You can do it, guys. I have faith in you.
Down, up, down.
There you go. God, it's all over me. That's actually not bad.
No, I mean it's essentially just straight Malibu rum. So it's
It's the yogurt that really.
the yogurt makes it look awful, but it's not.
It's actually really good.
It's a pain in the ass though because especially when you have a beard
You
and a
need
mustache.
to, yeah.
Well, I just
Yeah.
got it all over my fucking
Yeah,
shirt. So
I was trying.
I don't
to,
do well with shots.
I was trying to dodge the mustache.
That actually is really.
Yeah, it's not
That over there.
Yeah,
It's
thank
not
you.
fucking
Do you want me to
terrible.
make you another one?
No.
There's plenty of yogurt. There's plenty of yogurt left, gentlemen.
No, we do not want you to make us another one. But that is
I feel
really,
like we could
love
probably
it.
figure out a way to make this more palatable.
honestly, it might actually be okay
What
as
about
a drink.
blender?
No.
Oh yeah, like on
Just
blended up the yogurt and the rum.
Yeah, with the rum.
Put it on like
Like a
maybe,
smoothie.
What if you did? What if you just basically did like a almost like a pina colada? Like you just do it like blend it with ice and then throw the whipped cream on top.
I got little pieces like the coconut was in mine too. Did you get any little
No,
pieces of
thank
coconut?
God.
Oh,
I
I did.
hate-
I know.
I hate
know.
coconut.
Oh.
It was nice.
Coconut?
He thinks
I
it
don't-
tastes like paste.
I like the taste of coconut, but I don't like the texture of
the
coconut
actual
shavings because I
coconut.
don't like eating pencil.
That makes fun
Well,
sense.
Well, it's the perfect drink for the shore.
It might actually be. No, that really was. I'm surprised at
Listen.
actually how decent that actually was.
Except for when it's really hot, you don't want to be eating yogurt.
Yes.
Milk was a bad choice.
Milk was a bad choice.
So, as we said, Kristen is here, and it is her time to shine. Now, we had mentioned before. So in September, we did all of our Oktoberfest beers because that's when the Oktoberfest beers start out, and then we went to we did a pumpkin ale last week, which we have a pumpkin ale to drink this week as well. But Kristen said she would explain to us why Oktoberfest is in September and not October.
I wrote notes.
Okay.
Okay, so it was.
Before you start, can I have
Yes.
a beer?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
What do you want?
Add him a beer.
Anything? Anything to get the taste of coconut out of my mouth?
Here, do this one because now we're actually all
all
except for
drinking.
you.
Oh, yeah. Go,
We're drinking the.
grab me the last one.
I think I left it in the fridge, didn't I? Oh no, it is here.
No.
Tasty.
There it is.
I put the last one in there.
We are all drinking the Bumblebee Wheat Ale with Blood Orange. I sent Jack to the store yesterday to pick up ice and some beer,
Is
and he
it
came
Round
back with
Guys?
this.
Yeah.
Is it?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, it
Oh,
is.
is it?
It's from the guy. I see the logo.
Oh yeah. Okay, that's cool. So actually,
It's in Lansdowne.
the one guy is friends of the podcast. Actually, the dude Phil has a podcast of his own called "If You Know" or something like that.
So they did a thing for the rescue. We had
Okay.
a Lansdale Hop and Shop, and Round Guys Brewery was one of the stops.
That's awesome.
And they gave a portion of the sales to the rescue.
Well, there you go.
This was a few years back. So hey,
Sweet.
cool. That's
Cool.
why I recognize the guy.
Well, hey,
Nice.
we probably grabbed some cases from them.
Possibly, yeah. We should stop over there sometime. Anyway, I'm sorry. Go
No, it's
on.
okay.
I
So,
cut you off again.
In 1810, Prince Ludwig married. Picture it, Sicily.
It's a Ludwig.
Yeah. Prince Ludwig, the Mad King, actually, but he was the prince back then, married Princess. I don't know what her name was. She had a really long name, so I just wrote Therese.
Okay.
Anyway, so they got married on October 12th. They had a huge celebration. I think it lasted about 5 days. They had whatever. So then it turned into like this equestrian thing. And then it
Solid.
I don't know. I don't understand the equestrian portion of it. But
Anything is made better with horses.
Well, yeah.
It's European.
they did
nobility.
cut that out eventually, but they decided that they wanted to celebrate this like annually. And so in 1872, they decided that they were going to change it because the weather was cooler and the days were shorter in October.
Okay.
So they changed it to begin in September. So since 1872, it's been held on the first Saturday after September 15th, and it goes until the first Sunday in October.
Okay, so there you go. So
So-
we are right to drink our
There you
Oktoberfest beers
are.
in September.
Yep.
Awesome.
There's
Awesome.
your story.
Thank you. And you said you have gifts for us? We like gifts.
I do.
No gifts for Jack though.
I didn't
Unbelievable.
know Jack was going to be doing this. So here is a rock and a string. You have a rock.
Very
Lying
nice.
a
Very
piece
nice.
of string
There
around.
you go.
Now,
I was out in my
Now
backyard.
we'll just need fake
Prosthetic
foreheads.
foreheads.
Nice.
Do you know what they're costing nowadays?
Prosthetic foreheads or rocks with strings on the...
Prosthetic foreheads.
Oh, okay.
Prosthetic forehead market
That's
is-
why
is
I was out
ridiculous.
in my backyard
That is
last
good.
night in the rain looking for rocks.
That's awesome. Now we have something else
So
to play
you
with.
each have a rock to wind a piece of
I
string
like how
around.
you brought quiet toys for us to play with, and then you literally brought a rock.
Yes.
For us to fuck around with.
Charlie
over-
Brown.
Exactly.
There you go.
I say,
I don't. I
This is a
didn't
little bit
have
louder
like
than
regular
the,
string, so you got
This
like
is actually even better.
this is
Like
perfect,
the
yeah.
twine. That's
Yeah.
awesome. Thank you.
So there you go.
There you go.
Very nice.
This will become a part of Country Hipster Podcast and Ottsville Record Garage lore.
Oh,
but
speaking
we have
of which,
something else to speak
God
of.
damn,
wanna know
Paul,
what
your
the fuck
your
that is.
transition skills are getting so
Good,
good.
good. We are up to 30 episodes now, so I'm getting into this. So excuse me.
I'm scared.
Katie and I went. Where'd he go?
He fell.
Oh, fuck.
He's sleeping.
He's sleeping? Okay. Katie and I went to an estate sale on Saturday, and we walked in, and we're looking around some stuff, and I see, hanging on the wall, this skunk. And I had already asked about a smoker. There was an electric smoker there. And I had said, how much for the smoker? They told me da-da-da. And then I walked in, I saw the skunk, and I'm like, what is that? They're like, oh, yeah, we don't know. Our dad just had it hanging there.
It's just a skunk pelt.
And then he goes, the guy goes, if you buy the smoker, I'll throw in the skunk. And Katie's like, hell no.
At me!
Hell no. So I did buy the smoker, and as we're getting ready to load it into the car, Katie's dealing with Regina in the front. And I turn to the guy, I'm like, yo, what's up with the skunk? And he's like, oh, you really want it? I'm like, yeah, I fucking want that skunk. Are you kidding me? He's like, all right, let me go, guys. And Katie's like, what are you doing? He's like, nothing. Don't worry about it.
Does he have a name?
Well, that's what we're here for.
That's what we have to figure out.
So this is the official now mascot.
Hair is like falling out.
It is of the Country Hipster
he's fucking
podcast.
Stressed. He doesn't have a mouth or eyes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So bizarre.
He's very nice. So we don't have a name for him yet.
I'm probably allergic to him.
Probably. So we have to find a name.
everything.
So this is where you, our listeners, come in. We need you to put into our comments, send us an email at info@OttsvilleRecordGarage.com. We want your suggestions for names. I actually think, because I think he's going to hang out in the box of Mike, I kind of want to name him Getty Lee.
I was like, since he lives in the box of Mike,
Yes.
his name should be Getty.
It should be Getty, but so we'll see.
Getty. Well, I was talking to Paul that we should do a once we get a couple names going, we should go do an Instagram poll.
We are, yes.
So Getty will definitely be the podcast submitted name.
Yes, and then so if you submit, you put it in the comments on our YouTube page here. We're also gonna we have a poll that is actually on our Spotify
there's hair
page.
everywhere.
No, that's twine.
Do you want to put him up into the box of Mike there? So we want your suggestions. We want to know, what should we name the official mascot of the.
I have my hand up a skunk.
Yeah, it's a piece of
there's
paper up there.
newspaper
Yeah,
up inside
yeah, to
of
keep his
him.
form. You know,
Keep his form.
keep his form.
Wait,
like-
what's the date on the
It's like
newspaper?
half-ass taxidermy.
Good thing. Let's
Yeah.
see if we can find a date. For
Yeah,
the
see
newspaper.
what the
Yeah.
newspaper says, so we can have an idea of how old our mascot is.
Friday, March 12th, 1999.
Wow. Okay.
99.
So he could be at least 20 years old, or over
This
20
is a
years old. at this point.
pre-Y2K skunk. You know
Oh wait,
how
no.
rare it is to find a
99.
pre-Y2K skunk?
Yeah, yeah, 99,
That
yeah.
that
thing's older
skunk-
than you.
Yeah, it is older than me.
So there you go. So
Or at least the newspaper is.
Well,
yes, True.
I would say
yes. So there you go. Drop it in our comments. Answer the poll on the Spotify page. Send us an email, or like DM us. Slide into our DMs on the Instagram, the Country Hipster Podcast, as to what you think we should name our official mascot skunk here. And then after we have some submissions, we're going to do an Instagram poll, so you guys can decide what the name of our skunk is. But that is not why we're here. We're not here to just name skunks and drink.
We've done a lot already.
We have. So
But you notice Paul is like kept it
he's
rolling along.
Well, there's a timer.
yeah, we do have a timer, which is kind of a soft timer, but we got it going.
It's a suggestion.
It's a suggestion. It's the hey guys, you're too drunk to continue going
Yeah.
for 3 hours, so shut the fuck up. That's what the timer is.
Yeah.
So but we are here to talk about They Might Be Giants Flood, which was an Adam pick. So Adam, go ahead with the factoids, buddy.
Sorry, I was just counting because for some reason I couldn't do simple math in my head. We are here to talk about Flood by the Might Be Giants. It was released in January of 1990.
Did you just call them the They Might Be Giants?
No, I said They Might Flood by the
No, you
Might Be
said
Giants.
the They Might Be Giants.
Did I?
Yeah, you did. That's horrible.
The yogurt's getting to me.
Yeah, I know.
I
But
can
anyway, go
smell
on.
the yogurt.
Like I should sit there and make fun of somebody for like saying something.
Misspeaking.
Yes, yeah.
How dare he?
So yeah, the album was released in January of 1990, which means this album is 10 months older than I am. It is the band's third studio album. It was recorded in the fall of 1989. They recorded it at Skyline Studios. I believe it said it was in New York. This is the, like I said, third studio album by the band. The first major label released by the band was released on Elektra. and this is considered the band's definitive release. It's their best-selling and their most recognizable album. The band was produced by They Might Be Giants, produced by Alan Winstanley and Clive Langer. And they both have very similar producing credits. Bands include Madness, Dexy's Midnight Runners,
Nice.
friend of the podcast Elvis Costello, although they produced albums with the Attractions.
Okay.
They both produced a couple albums by Bush, and they also produced a couple albums by Morrissey,
Would that
also
be-
a friend of a podcast.
George H.W. or George W?
George W.
George W. Okay, all right,
Yeah,
W.
it was
All
W.
right, cool.
Also, one of the band members was the singing role for the dad in Coraline.
Was he?
Oh,
Yeah.
Shit, I
that's
didn't know
an
that.
interesting fact.
I
There you go.
have an interesting factoid about this band in
Okay.
pop culture, which is how I discovered this band, which we'll
Okay.
get to in a minute.
All right.
Album peaked at 75 on the Billboard 200 and it spent 22 weeks on the chart. Birdhouse in Your Soul is one of the singles, and that peaked at number 3 on the Billboard Modern Rock chart. Twisting peaked at 22, and this was the first album by the band to go platinum. It went platinum as of June of 2009.
And also went gold.
It
in the
also
UK.
went gold in the UK,
Yes.
yes. So yeah, to throw the little pop culture note, which I actually enjoyed because it was listed on Wikipedia. The way I discovered this band is, you're definitely too young to remember it.
Yep.
You guys might be too old to have seen the show, but you might remember it. I discovered They Might Be Giants through Tiny Toon Adventures.
No, I saw that. Yep.
I've
Yeah.
seen Tiny Toons Adventures.
There's 2 segments on Tiny Toon Adventures. One is with Particle Man, where all of the different men referenced in the song are all luchadors.
Yes.
And then there's
I
also
remember that.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. Yeah.
Istanbul and Constantinople also had a segment where it was almost like a weird, like almost like Maltese Falcon type crime
Yes.
story going on, where a jade duck was stolen, and then I can't remember what the duck's name on the show was, but he was a detective wearing a fez because Istanbul.
Constantinople.
Yeah. So
It's been a long time gone.
yeah.
Yeah.
It was very. I remember seeing the episodes when I was a kid, growing up, and then our brother Zach having this album, and he goes, "Hey, do you remember this?" I'm like, "Why the fuck do I know this song?" Because of Tiny Toon Adventures. Mm-hmm. So yeah.
Excellent.
Very nice. Very nice.
Also, because of Istanbul, not Constantinople, I understood a joke in Gangs of New York.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I missed it, actually.
When Johnny
love that movie.
introduces Leonardo DiCaprio to Daniel Day-Lewis, he says, "This is my friend Amsterdam," to which Daniel Day-Lewis responds, "I'm New York."
Ah, there you go. And it is old New York, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Very nice. Very nice. I never put that together. Look at you, bringing your movie knowledge in
Right?
there.
It's
Yeah.
almost as if I did.
Didn't they do the theme song for
Yeah,
Malcolm
although
in the
you-
Middle?
Did they?
Malcolm and
They might have actually. I think they might be Giants did do the theme song for Malcolm in the Middle. I
That's
think
You're
you're
not the boss
correct.
of me.
You're not the boss. Yeah, they
Yeah.
did. That is They Might
Yeah,
Be Giants.
yeah,
yes,
yeah,
yes,
yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Very nice. Very
There
nice.
you go. I missed some of the
Yeah,
pop
I actually
culture
forgot
references.
about that. Okay, so here's my Malcolm in the Middle story.
He has a story for everything.
2 times.
Paul was at a baseball game and Frankie Muniz threw out the opening pitch, so Paul almost fucked Frankie Muniz.
No,
Yep.
no, I almost fucked
almost
Bryan
happened.
Cranston.
Yeah.
I was on the
boy.
elevator with him at the hotel I used to work at. That was the first time I ran into him, and the second time I was walking out. He was walking.
The
in.
second time was his
Brian-
hotel room.
The hotel was his. No, well, so he was. They were filming the movie. Him and who's the fucking comedian, little guy from Philly, Kevin something.
Kevin Hart.
Kevin Hart. Thank you. So him and Kevin Hart.
Oh,
were doing
that movie, yeah. I can't
they
remember
were
what it's
filming the
called,
movie in
yeah.
Philadelphia. The French version, which I did see, is called like the La Incredibles or something like that, which I think might be what it's called in.
I'll tell you in a minute.
Yeah, but at any rate, they were filming it. Excuse me, in Philadelphia, and Bryan Cranston, instead of staying in like a hotel that the movie was going to hook him up with, he actually rented out one of the condos in the Rittenhouse Hotel because they actually have condos. where people legitimately lived there. So he rented out one of the condos for the duration of when he was doing.
It was called The Upside.
The Upside. There you
It
go.
was released in 2017.
Yes. So he was staying there at the hotel, like living there while he was filming the movie. So I took the elevator with him the one time, and then the other time I just ran into. It was really fucking sweet, nice guy, like really cool. Like even when in the elevator, he was actually on the phone. And I got into the elevator, like we actually were standing next to each other. I didn't even realize it, and we got on the elevator together. And I hear him talking, and then I look over, and he just looks at me, and I was like, "Oh shit!" Like I didn't say anything, but he's like, "Hey, how you doing?" You know, it was just kind of cool. I was like, "All right, you're on the phone."
He
Like
acknowledged
obviously,
you while he was on his phone.
Exactly. So no, it was cool. And then all the staff there at the hotel, like the door guys and the security, said every time he walked by, he was always shaking hands and saying hello to people. And all that kind of. So that's pretty cool. So there's my
There you go.
There's my connection to Malcolm in the Middle.
Fun Bryan Cranston information. On the set of Breaking Bad, the DEA taught him how to make meth.
Oh, wow.
I remember reading that actually. That he actually like learned how to do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That is crazy.
Pay teachers more money.
Another funny part about that. I've never seen the show, but apparently at one point at the show, somebody disappears. Like they don't get killed, but they go on the lam or whatever. And they're like, "Well, where is he?" And they're like, "Somewhere you'll never find him." And then they show this map, and the map is in Virginia, specifically of an area called Arvonia, Virginia, which is like a huge area of like by like it's about 45 minutes to an hour from Charlottesville. It's a huge area. And
Charlottesville, is that the home of
the
home
Unholy
of the
Fort.
Unholy
Well,
Fort?
here's the funny part about it is that Sean was living in Arvonia at the time the show came out, and he saw the map. And like literally, I've been to like when he lived in that area. I've been there. There's fucking nothing there. So if you ever want to like disappear and get lost, Arvonia, Virginia is the fucking place to go. It really is. So it was just kind of funny. So there you go. But we're not here to talk about Malcolm in the Middle or Bryan Cranston or
I
Breaking
say
Bad.
who are we starting with?
It's your thing. So go with your feelings.
So I love this album. It's a kooky fucking album. It's catchy. I can't remember the last time I listened to this album all the way through before this past week, where I've listened to it like 15 times probably. But every once in a while, just without having listened to the album, I will just have Birdhouse in Your Soul, or I will just have Letterbox in my head, or Istanbul like in my head.
Sometimes I scream out minimum wage.
Yeah.
For no reason.
Especially when you were working in Catholic school.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sometimes I just yell that out.
It's a very peculiar album. It's, alternative rock to say the least, but it's just so fucking good and catchy and fun, and like you can't feel bad while listening to this album.
No.
It's physically I tried. And I couldn't do it. But yeah, I love this album, and it's interesting that this was the only album that would have been both on mine and Paul's list.
Yes. So besides the, where we talked about the, the Gaslight Anthem would have ended up on the pilot episode where we're talking about albums that we gifted, if it wasn't on your 25. This album too, yes, this would have been on my 25. I actually had, because I wrote down my list, this was one of the albums I put on, and then when I saw your 25, I was like, okay, well, let me pick something else.
No.
Which I think is actually what I replaced with it was like the Best of Sam Cooke or something like that. So I think that's actually what I replaced with it. But yeah, so this would have been on my my 25 as well, but you beat me to it.
No.
So, Kristen, how do you feel about this album?
I love this album.
I was gonna say I like the idea of like turning to our guests and being like, "What do you think of this album?" Like, obviously you picked this album. You told Paul you wanted to be on this episode.
I wanted to come and be on this one. Yeah, ugh. I can't talk today.
It's okay.
Today has been rough. Anyway,
you're getting a contact high from the yogurt.
Yes.
So, I do really like this album, and I have memories of my brother owning this album on vinyl, and it sitting in his bedroom up in a crate with all the other albums and his big stereo. Yeah, so I've always loved this album.
Nice.
I think this might be the only They Might Be Giants album that I've actually listened to, but I have it all memorized. I put it on and I was singing along, and Birdhouse in Your Soul is actually on a playlist that I have basically the playlist I think is called like Roll Down Your Windows and Scream Along.
Okay. Nice.
So, yep.
Very nice.
So, yeah, it's a good one.
Very nice. Jack,
Good choice.
your thoughts on the album? Since I thought this was your favorite album, but one of your favorite
not
albums, but
really.
it's not.
It was one of my like good albums because I mean, ever since I remember this album was a staple in the car stereo playlist.
Yep.
So it was this. There was My Apartment, the song about a guy breaking into his old apartment. And
Play
then
that a lot.
the Dropkick Murphys. That was the 3. So I was like, hey, I love like a lot of the songs in the album, and then replaying it. A lot of the songs I don't remember their endings, where they just get like your racist friend has like a weird ending.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, it's a good song overall. But yeah, I think some of their other albums and some of their newer stuff is definitely I feel better than The Flood.
Okay. All right.
Recently, and actually not. It's been a little bit. I kind of forgot about They Might Be Giants, and then I was kind of loosely following a series on YouTube. I was on the channel The AV Club.
Okay.
And what the AV Club will do is they will make a list of a bunch of different songs, and then they will invite bands to their studio.
Yes.
And they will have bands pick songs, and as they pick, the list gets shorter and shorter.
Can I just say one of my favorite things about that is when Iron and Wine did Guar, Sick of You, and then Guar's on the back end, and they turn the camera to Guar, and they're like, "That was so beautiful, man. That was so pretty." But anyway, hey, go on. I'm sorry.
So yeah, they'll make a big list of songs. Bands will come in, they'll cover the songs, but as you know, so if you're the first band to come, you get pick the
Lots
whole
of
thing.
choices.
If you're the last band to come, you get what everybody else didn't want. And They Might Be Giants did a cover of Tub Thumping by Chumbawamba.
my
On
God.
AV Club.
We're gonna have to look. I'm gonna
Yeah,
have to
we
look
gotta
that
look
up.
that
It's
up.
funny because the room they record in is very, very small. It's maybe like a 10-15 foot diameter
It's a
circular
small-
room.
Yeah, it's a small studio that they use.
And
Yep.
they had just about every single person from the AV Club office in the room with them to sing the chorus along with them. It was
that's
very
great.
good.
That
Also,
is
the AV Club, Guar actually did a cover of "Carry On My Wayward Son" on the AV Club, which was pretty good.
I want to say Guar did a couple things. I'm not.
I think they did. I think they did multiple.
I think they did multiple things on there, but like I just remember like seeing that, like seeing Guar on there, and thinking that was like pretty fucking great. And,
Yeah.
and again, the Iron Wine, like when he's sitting there playing "Sick of You," it's and like does it totally in Iron and Wine like fucking fashion with the
Yeah.
acoustic guitar, and it's all pretty and all, and it's just like, but it also makes you actually realize, like, because you think of songs like. I do it, so I'm guilty of it sometimes. Where like I think of songs that are just like metal songs or just like these like kind of like kitschy songs and stuff like that, and then you hear someone else play it, and you actually realize everything that's all the different aspects of that song that are actually in there. They're really technical songs, and it's like, oh shit, yeah, they're really, it's actually really cool, and that was kind of one of the cool things about seeing Iron and Wine do that, because it's like he took all that technical shit from musical playing it and then putting it there, but you don't necessarily. It's lost in the theatrics of Guar sometimes, and actually how good they are with their instruments and how you know how they really write good songs.
That's for another show.
That is for another show, but yes.
I say we talked about it when we on the pilot when we did when we were talking about Slayer. It's like you and I both play guitar, but you and I will both just never be able to play guitar the way metal guitarists play. Like it's
shit's amazing.
Yeah.
Shit is amazing. So me personally, I do love this album. As Adam mentioned, it was going to be on my 25, but I deferred to Adam. So I don't remember exactly who introduced me to They Might Be Giants or where I discovered that They Might Be Giants, but my guess is that it was actually through MTV with the video for Birdhouse in My Soul. It was not. I do remember when it was on the Looney Tunes,
Tiny Toon
Adventures, which I thought, like, as I was getting older and I saw it, I was like, oh, that's pretty fucking great. They're like doing something that I would like, and
it reminded me very much of like looking back on it. I was actually talking to Zach about it today. It reminds me very much of, remember Yo Gabba Gabba?
I
Yeah,
do.
yeah.
Yo Gabba Gabba, one of the guys who created Yo Gabba Gabba was one of the guys in the Aquabats.
Oh,
So
okay.
Yo Gabba Gabba always had like the Roots were on Yo Gabba Gabba.
Yeah.
Taking Back Sunday was on Yo Gabba Gabba. All of these like bands that were cool to the parents whose kids were
Yeah.
probably watching the show were on. And that kind of gave me the same vibe. Like I just imagine someone like hanging out like watching fucking Tiny Toon Adventures with their kids, and then this shit comes on, and I'm like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
cool.
There you
I guess
go.
I could sit through this. Like,
Do you like the Aquabats?
I don't know.
Okay, all right. Jack actually has a very diverse bit of music there, like very very diverse taste. But you don't like to go to concerts.
No.
No. So
I don't blame them. Like sometimes people are fucking annoying at
well,
concerts.
yeah, they
When
are.
you're short, it's awful.
Yeah.
But
Yes. Speaking of
they're-
concerts, have you ever seen They Might Be Giants?
I feel like maybe at college, but
Okay.
I can't remember if I went or not.
So I do know that recently they've been touring
I
actually
know.
with the anniversary of Flood. Now they were supposed to tour in 2020 for the I guess it was 30th anniversary, whatever
Yeah.
it was. But then of course the pandemic
COVID.
happened.
Yeah.
And then when things were opening up again, they rescheduled the dates, and then things just weren't quite nice enough, so they actually ended up not like postponing again. But I do believe the third time was a charm, and they did go around, and they were playing Flood from beginning to end, which I did think about getting tickets for me and someone who I thought really liked the
Yeah.
Flood but hates going to concerts. I'm not going to say who that is.
Yeah.
But
Turns
he
out
might-
it would have been like when Dad got you the
feel like
fucking
I discussed
wrestling
this.
tickets.
Exactly. That's what it would have been. He would have got me the fucking wrestling. You know, he would have been like, no, actually, no. I think it would have been different. That'd be different if I was like, dude, I think you would really like, I don't know, fucking Barry Manilow. That'd be like if I brought him to Barry Manilow when I saw Barry Manilow.
It would. I think the better analogy would be is like if you were like Jack, you know what show you would really like? This live performance of all of the music from Hairspray. So you could take Regina
Exactly.
to it.
Yes.
Because that's basically what
that
it
would
was,
actually
is-
be a big.
because
It would be
was
like
to bring Zach.
It'd be like,
right?
"Happy birthday, Jack! I got you a ticket to see Hairspray, and me and Regina are going." That's. Oh wait, hold on. We did talk about the Skipper.
Oh,
We just
Skipper.
mentioned Dad. Yeah. There you go.
Jack, you're too far.
But yes, that actually is probably what would be the quote. Which is funny that like, not that I was going to do this for you, but I actually saw this thing online the other day where the Philadelphia Orchestra, I believe it's like Thanksgiving weekend, like the Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, are actually going to do the music. It's at the Kimmel Center. They're going to do the music of Nightmare Before Christmas while the movie is showing.
Yeah.
So yeah, I thought it was neat too, and I
They
you know,
do that a lot for different
they
things.
do. Yep.
Yeah.
So like I got the which Regina's actually been watching that more and more. It's one of the shows she's like one of the movies where she'll actually pay attention to.
Which actually we talked about it. It makes sense that Regina would like it
Yes.
so much. Nightmare Before Christmas is actually the first thing Zach and I covered on
Right.
Summer Movie Club, and we were talking about how like in my head I remember that movie having like a couple, like 2 or 3 songs.
Oh, there's a ton of them.
A lot of that
Plus,
fucking movie.
she is a huge Oingo Boingo fan.
Yeah, a lot of that fucking movie is.
I knew you would get that.
is fucking hate you both, the two of you. A lot of that movie is fucking like surprisingly like maybe like a third of that movie is music surprisingly.
Yes, it is. Oh, you know what we should do?
That you're gonna break out. Yeah,
We all need another beer, right?
I say before it gets too late in the night. Look
Yes.
at
I'm halfway.
You're halfway.
Look at that handsome little tuxedo cat on the
It
back of
is.
that can.
It is. Oh yeah, that kind of looks like the cat. So
Yeah.
Katie and I just
without
adopted 2
glasses.
cats. And I can't remember the name of the
Miss
rescue.
Jackson?
Yeah, but we have Miss Jackson and Charlotte now who are
Cat-o'-lantern.
getting accumulated to our home and Alice
Accumulated? Accustomed.
Accustomed. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Assimilated. How's that? Is that better? Like we're like the Borg.
The Borgs.
The Borg. But yes, so
Must assimilate.
so yeah, so it does kind of look a little bit like Miss Jackson. So Friday night I played at a brewery in Morrisville, Pennsylvania, which is like right over the bridge from Trenton, New Jersey, called the Bitchin' Kitten Brewery, and really, really fucking good beers there. Really nice people. It's a small brewery, but they have like a little outdoor area, which is where I played. They had like the little fire pits going, and I was playing. It was nice, and they also have food, which is also like I didn't actually get to eat.
They have actual food, or
They
they
have
have
actual
food trucks?
No, they actual.
Oh, okay.
Like, which is why I was going. Like a lot of times you go to a brewery or a winery, they don't serve food. They'll have a food truck, and sometimes the food truck doesn't show up, or they cancel this, that, and the other
Yeah.
thing. They actually serve food there, so it's like really more of like a brew pub. They offered me food several times. I actually just I ate before I went, so I was like, I'm not gonna eat. Like thank you, but you know.
You weren't gonna eat a cheeseburger while you were playing.
Exactly. I actually don't even know, but like I saw other people eating. I don't know what it was on the menu, but other than like the big fucking pretzel, and it smelled delicious. Like
Yeah.
you know, but they only had one beer for takeout, and that was a Cat-O-Lantern, which is a Imperial Pumpkin Ale. So this is a 10% beer.
It's funny that the beer is called Cat-O-Lantern, because if you didn't tell me that you had that, I was gonna stop and pick up what I talked about last week, which was the River Horse Hippo Lantern.
Oh right.
Because I think we've just unofficially decided it's October. We're gonna
drink some pumpkin.
We're gonna
beers,
drink pumpkin beers.
Yes. So I'm gonna pop this open, and this is a 10% beer. I haven't tried it. I did try some of the other ones. They had an Oktoberfest called the Stubentiger, which was probably it was a pretty fucking good Oktoberfest. Like I wish they had that for takeout because I would have taken it. Do you want some of this? No. Okay.
I don't like Imperium.
All right. You don't like the Imperial March?
I don't like Imperium and Imperial at all.
Imperial anything.
Anything.
Okay.
Because I hate chocolate beers.
Well, I don't think it's
Pumpkin.
it's pumpkin.
So it tastes like
Here,
vomit.
actually, wait here. Do you gotta
Probably.
put a little?
Well,
here you go. Since you don't.
Apparently,
you already said
American
you
chocolate
didn't.
tastes
No,
like
thank
vomit.
you.
I'm not
What did
just.
you say?
American chocolate tastes like vomit, like Hershey.
No, I mean pumpkin.
Do not disrespect Hershey.
Look, I'm just saying.
I was
every
just saying the other
European
day.
that tastes as Hershey is like this tastes like vomit.
It's very waxy, according to the Europeans.
You're both wrong.
Because my mother used to send me American chocolate in Germany, and I would give it out to the kids, and they were like, "This tastes like wax."
They were like 9.
9.
Yeah.
Now, I do like the Cadbury stuff that I get. Like you pick
that's
it up
British.
at like Aldi. Yeah, I know. It's
That's
I haven't
Irish.
tasted this yet, but I've smelled it,
something.
and it.
I took a slight sip.
You can get
You can definitely.
Cadbury chocolate on the tube in England.
Now,
on the tube.
I don't know why,
There's like
but when I take a sip of
vending
this,
machines everywhere.
where my mind immediately goes to, the gingerbread cookies
Yes,
from
yes.
from Termini Bakery.
Uh-huh.
That's where my mind goes to.
Yes. No, I get that. I get
I can
that.
smell that.
Yeah, the
They
spiced wafers.
smell like
Yeah.
spice wafers.
Yeah. Do you want to try a little sip?
It's not bad.
Mayhaps.
I was talking
Okay.
about how on last week how I hate when it's like slap you in the face with a pumpkin,
Yes.
and this is not slap you in the face with a pumpkin.
It's got spice to it.
It's
It
got
has
spice, but it's
to
a
it.
very nice, not overpowering
That's
spice.
weird.
Yeah. Right.
I don't know how I feel about it.
You have the ginger.
It tastes like a spice wafer.
Yes, you have a little bit of pumpkin. You can taste the I guess nutmeg would be in there as well. Not really any clove.
Let's just say spices.
Spices, yeah, fall spices.
Pumpkin spice. All of the
No,
spices.
this is very nice.
Yeah, it would be like
especially
nutmeg
for a
and
10%
cinnamon.
beer.
Garlic. Yeah. Oh shit! I forgot
Would
it's
not be
10%.
garlic.
This doesn't have
Garlic
yeah,
would
this-
not be in there.
This
for a
would
pumpkin.
fucking.
You're making the wrong
So-
pumpkin pie.
Yes, so you are Italian, both of you. So yeah.
That's all it is. It's all this.
Yes, it's all the garlic. Hey,
So
and
much
mustaches.
garlic.
No, you
Don't
don't
make
have.
fun of my mustache.
You don't actually have a
I
mustache.
do.
Do you? Well,
I
you,
am a
you take care of your
I'm an
mustache
Italian
well.
woman.
Yes, okay. But
Oh, I get excited. It's like one of my friends has had this. It was Katie who drank.
oh
this.
yeah. Because I got brought this up. She's like, oh, I want to try it. This would get me in a lot of trouble being a 10% beer.
Yeah, it does not taste like a 10% at all.
A lot of the higher ABV beers I can't drink. I just can't. Like it's too much. Like but that would get me in trouble. That might get me in trouble tonight. Which by the way, the Phillies are already playing, so we'll have to check
you checking
updates.
the
No, I have
scores?
not. Can you check the score? The Phillies score? So the Phillies are in the NLCS against the Arizona Diamondbacks.
so excited
Philadelphia
about sport
Phillies.
ball.
Yes.
Score is
And they're 2-0.
My
Yeah,
God.
2-0 against
Yes.
the Diamondbacks.
All right. That's a good thing. So I'm
Two in
sure
the first.
I say 2-0, but where in the game?
the bank
End
is
of the
probably good.
first.
End of the first. So they had a good first inning. I like it. Good for the Phillies. Okay, so back to why I asked you if you ever saw this band live. So I didn't get a chance to see They Might Be Giants live, but New Year's Eve, it was either 1991 or 92. I can't remember what year it was. I remember who I was dating or had just broken up with, but was still trying to do the whole friend thing. So that's why I know it was like 91, 92. They Might Be Giants played the TLA on South Street on New Year's Eve. Bunch of friends were going. My mother forbid me to go because number one, it was New Year's Eve. Number two, it was downtown Philly on South Street. And number three, thanks to my fucking brother Brian, who, Brian, who basically
God rest his
ruined
soul.
my teenage years from all of his fucking shenanigans, meant that my mother clamped down on me very hard as a teenager. So I was forbid to go, and I wasn't able to go, and like I heard afterwards that it was an amazing fucking show, and I wish that I'd say, especially in the TLA, if that's
I was just at the TLA 2 weeks ago,
Yes.
and it's even if you're standing at the back of the room,
you're
right
there.
at the fucking
yes,
stage.
and that would have been like that. I really love seeing bands in these smaller venues more. Like I was talking about during the Spike episode, how like I'm weary about spending money to see Elvis Costello again at these big venues. But he played Parks.
I saw him at the Man, but they closed everything off, and we were
neat.
all just inside.
Okay. That's awesome. Well,
He was so good.
Both times I saw him was at the Man, but it was in the summer, so like we didn't have lawn seats, but we were in the uncovered seats, and it was still awesome. But like when he played the Met recently, I wasn't spending money for those tickets. I'm like, fuck that. I'm not going to see him at the
Katie
Met.
and I also saw him at the Man.
Was it the Man or was it in Camden? Because we actually talked about that last week. Because he played with
It was
Blondie.
him and Blondie.
Which,
We went to Camden.
yes, which I would have gone to if
You
but
weren't invited.
I was going to
us.
go separately without you guys. I wasn't.
were
It wasn't,
not invited
wasn't
with
even
us.
anything I was going with you guys.
That
it
was
was
a lady
girls'
date.
night.
I didn't even like know you guys were going. It was
That
something
was a
that I saw. I
lady
was like,
date.
oh, I want to do this. But Ethan was in town at that time.
It was
so
part of
this
the
is-
Exponential Fest, apparently.
Okay.
There
This
was
is
like,
why I say don't have
no,
kids
about
because
this
they
other stuff.
ruin your concert
Oh,
plans.
stop it! They don't always ruin them. But I actually thought Ethan might have.
really wound
I did.
the rock
I did.
with
I
your
thought
string.
Ethan would have actually enjoyed Blondie. But
She was amazing.
yeah, Ethan had no interest.
She
so I was
still
like,
has
"Ah."
it.
She does. Yes. But
Anyway.
But at any rate, but when I saw that Elvis was playing the Parks Casino, I almost got tickets for that. Was willing to pay $60 for that. But I had something else going on. I'm like, I've seen him
So
twice.
a
like,
concert
whatever.
at Parks is great because
It is.
like
It's fucking amazing.
it ends at a certain time and you can go home early.
Yep.
Katie and I
Or
went
you
saw
can gamble
Squeeze-
and try to
we
get
saw
your money back.
Squeeze there,
Yes.
and we were just like, okay, this is an old people concert. It was over by like 10 o'clock.
Yes.
We went right home,
Also,
in bed by 11.
right up the street from Parks, I used to live up by Parks. Right up the street from Parks is a delicious diner called the Clubhouse that had excellent chicken croquettes.
There you go. There you go.
There we go.
So, but speaking of our brother Brian,
They'd be like, speaking of chicken croquettes,
in regards to They Might Be Giants, even though he
What's
he
the
ruined
difference
my.
between a croquette and a nugget?
chicken croquette is a chicken nugget. I mean, like, it should be just like a small chunk of chicken that's breaded and fried.
So what's a croquette?
A croquette is basically like ground chicken that's then formed, and then a lot of times, I believe the dining
Sorry.
car,
I'm
who is
sorry.
famous
That's okay.
for their croquettes, the dining car will put peas and carrots into their
I
croquette.
have never.
It's basically just ground chicken
It's
that's
bizarre.
then formed and then breaded and fried.
Yep,
That's
and
very
then,
bizarre.
and then
Served
with the
over
croquette,
mashed
you put,
potatoes
well,
and
you do
gravy.
that,
You
and
put
then you usually
gravy.
put a gravy on it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Weird.
So that would be
Okay.
the difference there.
Okay, good to know.
But our brother Brian
Ruined your life.
ruined my teenage years because of his shenanigans. But was actually a fan of the They Might Be Giants song "Don't Let's Start." It is a great song, and it predates Flood. He didn't like Flood. He wouldn't let. I'd be like, oh, well, if you like that song, you should. He's like, no, fuck you. Let's play
That was
"Don't
the-
Let's Start," and
I
he would
think
just
that
play.
was the first They Might Be Giant song I ever heard.
Okay,
Yeah.
he would just play "Don't Let's Start" over and over, and like he would play. Like I had to listen to it again, rewind it, and then play it again. You know, because everything was on tapes then.
Rewind it.
Yes.
Adorable.
It took forever.
See, so one of the things I love about this album too is the fact that the longest song on this album is Hearing Aid, which clocks in at 3 minutes and 26 seconds, which also makes me think of something like kind of like a They Might Be Giants in the Future type of thing. If it putting movies together. Did you ever see Demolition Man?
No.
I think
You've seen
so.
Demolition Man. Okay. So in Demolition Man,
That's the 3 seashells.
there's 3 seashells. Yes, yes, yes. So in Demolition Man, because they're all in the future
I just
after
saw
the big
something about that.
earthquake in LA and this, that, and the other thing. So the only music they listen to are jingles. Old jingles from the 20th century. So I would think, because like this album is almost like an album of jingles.
Yeah.
You know?
Especially minimum wage.
Yes,
Yeah.
especially
Yes.
minimum wage. So you would kind of think like, in the movie Demolition Man, this would be like, they would be like the
When they
biggest
be
band
listening.
Oh, yeah.
in that time, because it's all fucking jingles. It's all
That's
short
amazing.
songs, and it's, and they're not like super short. Like minimum wage is like 46 seconds.
It's
but
not like a 48-minute album, though.
it is,
isn't
yeah,
it?
because there's a bunch of songs on
A
it.
lot
There's
of
like
songs.
12,
And that
12, 13 songs.
Introduction,
Or something like
which
that.
I
Introduction.
also randomly sing all the time.
Okay. No,
so weird.
I love the album. It really is a great album. It's a fun album. That's like
The theme.
that is the one thing. It is
43-minute album, 19 songs.
19.
It's
There you
actually
go.
43
lot.
minutes, 8 seconds.
Oh.
Listen, Apple Music doesn't go that in depth. It rounds down.
Well, Spotify
Yeah,
gets that
Spotify
done.
does.
You know what else is on Spotify? The Country Hipster Podcast.
It is, yeah.
So you
It
can
certainly
subscribe
is.
and follow us
I
on
do.
Spotify. There
You
you go.
can also, they're on Spot. We're on
And you
Spotify,
can watch them
but
on Spotify.
Yes.
Apple Podcasts as well.
There you go.
You can't watch us on Apple Podcasts, but
No.
you can listen to us at least.
The only place you can see these beautiful faces is on Spotify and YouTube. Everywhere else, you just got to hear our beautiful voices.
Or
And
just start hanging out with us, and maybe we'll just invite you
Yeah,
on for an
you
episode.
could just be
and you can-
invited as a
that could happen.
guest.
And we will actually say this, that like I say you can hear these beautiful voices, except sometimes Adam likes to not fucking talk into the microphone, but whatever.
I'm sorry.
He's gonna start talking
that's peaking
like
like
a
crazy.
public radio.
I have to do like
Yes.
I gotta start doing like a radio
So
voice,
you're
just
public-
like, hey guys, how are you this morning?
Yes.
I want you to talk like a public radio person.
That's kind of like my I always joke that that's my sexy voice. Like I start getting like real, just like, hey guys, how's it going today?
That's not sexy at all.
Do you guys like the Miami Giants?
Here's what I
sexy
want to
voice.
know. If that is your sexy voice,
That's
how did you have
sad.
sex with so many people at our family parties?
Because
Wait, at the family parties?
not physically at the family
I am
parties.
so confused, like with cousins and shit.
No,
Did you not watch the
Are you
Spike
in West
episode?
Virginia? Did I miss the Spike episode?
watch the Spike episode?
I thought I watched it.
Paul. So, our dad passed away.
Yes.
Feel bad for us. And we had a.
I sent liquor.
She
Yeah.
did. She did.
We had
yes.
we had a party, and my current girlfriend, my ex-wife, and my daughter's mom were all at the
Oh.
party. So
So it was awkward.
No, it really wasn't.
No, it wasn't
they
awkward.
weren't. They weren't. No.
My daughter says something about it. She's like, "Isn't it gonna be weird?" I'm like, "No, we're fucking adults. Like, back like you're
No.
go away. Don't have kids." But yeah, no, there were
No,
there.
this womb is.
Plus, it's not
shut
like she.
down.
It's not like Haley's going to see the awkwardness.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, you can't hear awkward.
You can hear awkward sometimes.
If only if there's crickets.
Yes, yes.
All right.
Oh man.
As
So
long as you're not fucking cousins and things.
no, not
No,
that we're
no,
aware of.
I-
No.
Yeah,
Okay, you're good.
we're not all set.
That makes sense then.
Yeah.
It all makes sense.
All right. So
I think maybe I like tuned out a little
might
bit
have.
and then like
it's all good.
wasn't
It
paying
happens.
attention.
I don't blame you.
I was driving to work when
We
I
get
listened
drunk
to
and we
it.
ramble.
Yeah,
Sometimes
sometimes
we
I'm
do.
just like, what?
Tom makes us root beer floats. We get drunk. We
Yes.
ramble. It
It was-
happens.
Yeah.
Root beer floats.
You really did not listen.
You didn't
to
watch
this
that
episode?
episode at all. That was in the
Maybe
first
I
5
didn't
minutes.
listen to it.
You also could have been on that episode.
I think I just didn't listen to it.
Wow. Wow.
I thought I was all caught up.
Who are you, Jack?
And we
No,
brought,
I listen every week.
we brought you on this podcast for a third time.
Wow.
And we don't even make you work.
I could have been on last week's
You chose to
podcast.
make those shots. We didn't even force you to. We got shit on Tom, so he has to work for us.
I don't. I guess I must have just forgotten. You know what I've been listening to? Can I just tell you?
Yeah, go for it. What have you been listening to?
It's called Double Love, and if you were
I had double love
a
one time.
child,
That was a good time.
if you were a young girl in the 80s and 90s and you read the Sweet Valley High books,
You told me about this. Yeah.
holy shit, this is amazing. This podcast is hysterical. It's two Irish women who have no concept of what American high school is like, but also Sweet Valley's really fucked up. And they just go through a book a week.
Like Euphoria fucked up?
No, like...
I still haven't seen Euphoria.
I
Don't
haven't
talk about
either,
it.
but no. Sweet Valley is just, like, very problematic. If you don't have a boyfriend, you're dirt.
Oh.
If you're fat, you're dirt.
That sounds like
If
Euphoria.
you're not blonde, if you're not
So
blonde,
Euphoria.
you're
yeah,
dirt.
except like not as much drug
The
abuse.
Wakefield twins are the most beautiful people on earth, and their family is hot. And, like, it's... So these two Irish girls... Well, girls, I say. They're in their 40s like me. They go through...
Ooh.
Yeah, a book a week and talk about it. And it's
I'm going to save this because it's not
Yeah.
alcoholic.
so
Do you want me to put it back in the
freaking
thing?
funny. But yeah, listen to Double Love.
There you go. Double Love.
Sorry.
Friends of the podcast, Double Love. Whether
Sure,
they know,
whether they know it or not.
Unofficial sponsors of the Hipster Podcast.
I'll let them know.
There you go. So Adam, what you got? You got anything else about this album?
No, just fucking go listen to it because it's so fucking strange and it's so fucking fun and
Agreed.
it's just
Even for like late '80s, early '90s, this was different. Which is
Yes.
one of the
Well,
things
there's
that
a
makes
big
it great.
accordion in it.
which,
Yes.
which we've talked about before. Like this is not a punk rock
screaming.
album, but this
Sorry.
album
It's
this
fun-
album
it's
is
fun.
punk rock.
So when I think it is, I actually do like because you think of the lyrics. A lot of these lyrics are.
I'm shouting.
Yes.
So I'm turning
It's okay.
towards you. It's not moving.
It's all good. We're good.
Okay.
Here. A lot of the lyrics are
get really worked up.
you know it's symbolism, metaphors. Maybe I don't really know what a metaphor is. So,
Yeah.
but like I actually consider
It's
this.
comparing something using like or as.
No,
you
that's
go.
a simile.
That's a simile. I know.
So it's similar.
Yeah.
Okay. So what I would like honestly kind of put I would put the Dead Milkmen right along with David.
Yeah.
Weird and quirky.
Weird and quirky.
I would
I could
say
agree
that
with that
there's-
100%.
I,
Yeah.
I, I'll,
Yeah.
I'll say it too. On
No
top of that,
accordion,
and how
though.
like how weirdly political they are.
Yes.
Because you have like My Racist Friend, which is about. It's not about the racist friend that's ruining the party. It's that the guy's at the party, the friend's being racist, and the guy's like, "Why the fuck are you friends with this racist asshole?"
It's almost like Grandpa's not a racist. He just voted for
Yeah,
him.
yeah, and
Yeah.
and then on top of that, you have like the they might be Giants album like Lincoln, which it has like Kiss Me, Son of God, which is about which has a thing about exploiting the middle class and like the blood of the middle class. And then you have in 2018 they made a single called "The Communists Make the Music."
Oh yeah.
About how the communists make the best music.
It's actually a really good song.
It's actually really
yeah,
good.
that is a good song. So that's where like when you think about the lyrically and you think like these goofy songs, oh the birdhouse in my soul and all this kind of stuff, it really is very symbolic and very there's more to it than just that, and that is very similar to like what you get from the Dead Milkmen a lot, like even the song Minimum Wage, like yes, it's a 46-second song where the guy goes minimum wage and you have like the whip, but when you listen to that music. And then think of like the movie Office Space.
Yes.
And that fucking music is playing in every single minimum wage job. And that's the point of the song is like, this is what you're making to listen to this shit. And you're fucking killing yourself for what?
And the whip crack of like wage slavery.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. So, that is one of like the great things about this album. It's
I was
not just a quirky
prepared
little
to get this deep with this album.
But no, that's the thing.
Wow.
It's not
But
just
it's true.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. It's not just a quirky little weird album with two guys with some synthesizers who like put these funny songs together. No, like when you really like look
guys
at the
named
lyrics, it's a
John.
very deep fucking album.
And I think that's one of the best things about it is that you show up for the hooks and you show up for the weird quirkiness of it, but while you're there, they sling some message at you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, Kristen, any more thoughts on this album?
No.
No.
I'm scared.
that was a good reaction.
You guys
I like
are
that.
like really deep. I'm just like, yeah, it's
Yeah.
fun. I like it.
The album cover's pretty.
Yeah. Hey,
Which hold on a second. Hold on.
Do
I
not demean Kristen.
I am not like that.
I meant to make a note about it and I forgot
Oh
to.
boy.
Oh fuck! Wait, I gotta open up the other page. Specifically the album artwork is a picture by Margaret Burke White. It was a picture taken in a series that document the Ohio River flood of 1937.
That's
nice.
Again, deep and kind
Very
of cool.
deep.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's awesome. Jack, any final thoughts about this album?
No.
No. Okay. All right. I do love this album. It's a great album. Definitely one of my albums that I used to listen to a lot in my teenage years and while making out with Katie Conroy in her basement.
Yeah. Paul.
It seems like a weird makeout album.
Yeah.
Well, you know,
Yeah.
Paul,
You were in 8th grade.
Though.
No. We were in high
90.
school.
1990, this album.
Yeah, I know, but we were listening to it.
Oh,
later. Yeah,
got it.
Though you look very handsome in your button-down shirt. Your opinion is bullshit. Because there's a beautiful little
Yep.
baby angel upstairs.
There is.
Whose opinion matters
And
more than
I-
anybody at this table combined.
I am especially interested in her opinion because They Might Be Giants does make albums for kids.
Yeah.
Oh, they do.
Specifically,
They actually do.
They have
do.
children's albums, and so I
So-
was dying to know.
So can I just say that she, you know, first of all, we discussed this earlier at dinner, that she is going through her 10-month-old sleep regression.
Oh, I meant
Yeah.
to tell you something about that.
Yes.
She was pretty grouchy today.
I
She did not laugh at me.
a guy that I used to work with and
Hurt
his
my
wife
feelings.
were having a very difficult time conceiving.
Oh, you told me about this.
They
Go on.
eventually turned to in vitro. Is that what it's called? Yeah,
IVF,
IVF. Yeah, and
which is how Regina came to be.
yeah, and they were able to have a baby. He's a beautiful little boy. And
Wait, just to clear the air for everybody, I am still fixed. It never changed. So
Yeah.
any of those people in the past were like, "You said you were fixed." No, I really am.
Yeah.
So anyway, go on.
I was so excited for these two when they finally got pregnant, and they delivered the baby at a hospital that I happened to be working at the time. So I was in the cafeteria on my lunch break, and I saw this guy that I used to work with, and I saw him. I was like, "Hey," and I looked at him, and I'm like, "Thundercats are go?" And he's like, "Yeah," and I'm like, "Oh shit!" So I said to him, like, "Let me be the only person who's going to be real with you about being a parent." And that's that they're going to throw around the term sleep regression a lot. There's no such thing as a sleep regression. Kids are fucking idiots and they just refuse to sleep. They're in a constant state of sleep regression.
No. She goes to sleep, and this is the first time we're running into this. She goes to sleep.
You have the exception that proves the rule.
Now
But-
she is just like, what the fuck?
No.
She was up at midnight last
like,
night. She was up
I-
at 4
You
a.m.
thought you had an easy baby.
I do have an easy baby.
I told him,
She's
like,
like,
don't let.
fuck you.
This dude was not an easy fucking baby. She is an
Jack.
easy baby. This fucking dude. Oh my god, this dude never fucking slept. All he did, you gave him food, all he did was fucking throw it up, like straight across the fucking room.
He probably had reflux.
He did, he
Poor
had
kid.
reflux. But like,
That's awful.
Like,
how
no.
do you think he felt?
I don't know, he was a
I felt
fucking
like
pain in the ass baby
I
is
know
what he
it
was.
But for a brief period of time, Jack was my favorite niece / nephew. Because for about a year and a half, the only thing Jack ever said to me was skateboard.
Yep.
Or Tony Hawk.
Yep.
You taught me how to do primo.
Did I?
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
The hoagies.
Well, it's more about how to get the
Yes.
board to primo.
Yeah.
There
Yeah.
you go.
Yeah, I fondly remember that where for a brief period of time, that's all Jack would ever say to me was skateboard and Tony Hawk. I'm like,
Yeah.
fuck yeah, dude, that's all you
Yeah.
need in life.
Well, I don't know if Jack remembers this, but when he turned 13 years old, I sat him down on his birthday and I said, "Don't get your 17-year-old girlfriend pregnant."
Yeah.
And he listened to me, thankfully, unlike some people. But all right,
Did you tell him on his 13th birthday not to
no,
get a 17-year-old girlfriend
I told
pregnant?
him on his 13th birthday, if you need condoms, call me.
In
I'll
all
get
fairness, though, he probably didn't realize that I was 13 because
I probably didn't. Yeah.
on my a week before my 22nd birthday, he said, "Don't worry, just tell them you're with me and you'll be able to get into the bar." And I informed him that I've been getting into bars for the past 11 months because I was 21
Yes.
already.
I was like, oh fuck, yeah. So
Sorry.
I might have been like a year late.
Yeah.
So okay, so before we get into the Regina factor, I actually have to ask you, Jack. Do you have issues? Do you actually know what the Regina factor is? Since you actually haven't watched any of the. podcasts?
I'm assuming from context clues, it's if Regina enjoyed the album.
It
or
is.
not.
It is. So do you have an issue with the fact that you're season 2? Because Adam is my season 2. You are season 1 of my line. Do you have an issue that I have a segment in the podcast for season 2?
Well, no, because worst case scenario, I can create my own season 1.
There you go. All right. So, not while you're living in this house. Your rent's going to go up, motherfucker.
It's awesome.
So, Regina Factor.
Yes.
Okay. So, this was almost an indifferent. Mm-hmm. But I think she actually genuinely enjoyed listening to it. It was one of those things where she didn't have a whole lot of reaction, but it was like I talked about it with the U2 Joshua Tree, where she tolerated it. She was definitely indifferent to it. You could see her shifting in her seat to get more comfortable.
She had to poop.
To get more comfortable to fall asleep to it.
I often have to poop when Joshua Tree is on as
Exactly.
well. So.
Yeah, she definitely had to poop.
She
That's why
didn't-
she was shifting.
She didn't have a whole lot of reaction, but the last time we listened to it, she did sing and start talking during Road Movie to Berlin. Mm-hmm. And like that was like after we listened to the whole album. So it's going down as a like. Mm-hmm. You know, again, it was one of those, until that happened, it was kind of like, it was almost indifferent, but like bordering on like.
I'm surprised.
I wouldn't say it's an overwhelming like.
Yeah.
Not like the commitments where she was like.
Do you want to call it a tolerate?
No, it's more than a tolerate.
I want it to be an
I think it's a
overwhelming
like.
like.
It's more of when she gets to 4, 5, 6. This will probably be her favorite album.
It might be.
Yeah.
It might be.
Because that was my case when I was 4, 5, 6. I loved this album.
There you go. So Adam, you are now at 8 likes and 2 dislikes on the Regina Factor. I am at 8 likes and 3 dislikes, and she did not like Spike. And we have 6 indifferent.
Yep. Which, if I'm mistaken, it's split three apiece, right?
I think so. Yeah.
I want to say it's 3 apiece.
Yeah. Now I know 2 of those were like she did. Like I don't remember what her reaction was to the I'm Wide Awake. It's morning, because we weren't doing the Regina Factor at that point.
Yeah.
And I would not allow her to listen to Taking Back Sunday. So
You should probably go back and play the albums for her.
Well, if you
I said to
Gabba
Paul,
Gabba allowed
at the
Taking
end
Back
of
Sunday.
figure it out.
at the end of season 1, if we are tied with
yes, we
likes
are
and
gonna,
dislikes,
Then
we're
you'll
going to go
have to
back.
we're going to
replay.
pick albums that were indifferent and go back and try to.
and try to figure out.
Try to push her one
Might
way
be
or
a
the other.
tiebreaker. Yes. Adam, top 3 songs.
You should put her on the
Hold
show.
on, I
and
have a
make her
passcode
listen.
on my phone. Top 3. I went back and forth for a little bit. So I have an honorable mention.
Okay.
Birdhouse in My Soul. Mm-hmm. Dead.
Okay.
And We Want to Rock. So thank you for bringing
Now
me
you
a rock
have a rock.
to
And
line my
a
stringer.
string.
And a string, which I've tied my string around it.
Honorable mention is Letterbox.
Okay.
I was telling our brother Zach today. I usually listen to the albums we cover one last time on my way up to Paul's to narrow 100% concrete narrow down my top 3 and bottom 1, and I got maybe halfway through the album, and I said my top 3 were this, and then Letterbox came on, and I'm like, fuck, I forgot Letterbox existed.
It's a good song.
So I'm gonna go Birdhouse in Your Soul, Dead, and We Want to Rock with an honorable mention of Letterbox.
Cool. Kristen?
Okay, so my top 3. I had to put on my glasses so I can see because I'm old. Birdhouse in Your Soul, Your Racist Friend, and Letterbox.
All right.
With an honorable mention of Ball and Chain.
There you go.
Nice.
There you go. Jack, top 3.
My top 3 is Twisting, We Want a Rock, and Letterbox.
You are the only person who did not get a rock with the string.
Because
tied
I
around.
didn't know he was going to be here. I would have picked out a special rock for him.
I'm sorry, what was your number 3 again?
I mean,
Letterbox.
Letterbox. Okay.
Letterbox.
So we're all actually in the same area. So my top 3 in actually no particular order this time. Usually I put them in an order, but this is just no particular order. Lucky Ball Chain, Twisting, Letterbox, and an honorable mention to Dead.
Okay.
You know, I Dead is one of those ones where I'm like, oh, it almost makes a top 3, but it's not quite, because like
No.
part of it I don't like, but then like when it gets to the chorus and they kind of do like the back and forth vocals, I'm like, oh, that's fucking
honestly,
awesome.
the thing that sells me for Dead is the backing vocal.
Yes.
What I think Lucky Ball and Chain is like a good it's a good song to play, but my thing is I'm not a big fan of the My Bitch Wife.
What's kind of funny is
Humor?
that
Or, like,
well,
theming?
You know, it's like the you wear my lucky ball and chain. Well, so okay, but here's the thing about the song, how they have deeper meanings, right? So that
I don't feel like it's like that.
it's not
though.
necessarily my bitch wife. It's more like, hey, I can't believe you're leaving me. By the way, this is everything I did to fuck things up.
Yeah.
You know what
Yeah.
I mean? So
It's his fault.
yeah, it is his fault. He is acknowledging
yeah.
it. He wants to call her his bitch wife, but he's acknowledging, oh yeah, I might have done all this other stuff that didn't work out well. It's kind of like your mom.
She never called me baby doll.
So let's take it backwards around the bend. Paul, least favorite.
They Might Be Giants.
The
The actual song, the second to last song, They Might Be
song
Giants.
They Might Be Giants. Okay.
Yeah.
Jack, least favorite?
My least favorite is Minimum Wage.
Really? Why?
I want more substance in the song. Like,
Okay.
Jack asked me before we recorded, he's like, are we considering minimum
I-
wage a
oh,
song?
yes.
I
And I
messaged-
said, absolutely
I
we are.
messaged Paul about that too, and I was like, "What about the theme from Flood and minimum wage?"
So
Well,
Minim-
What's our
I think
plan
we
with
can all
those?
agree Theme from Flood is not a
That
song.
that's how I feel about Theme from Flood. It's not a song that counts. It is the intro to the album. Minimum Wage is a legit song.
I'll count. I'll agree with that. I'll
Yeah.
count minimum wage, but
okay.
not. Neither of them are my bottom ones.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's-
it
that's
doesn't
fine.
matter to me
Yeah,
either.
yeah. Okay. Chris,
So
at least
mine was hearing aid.
Hearing Aid almost made it there for me too. Hearing Aid and then Hot Cha almost made it there on my
Yeah,
My
Hot
least.
Shot's pretty close.
So my bottom is also Hearing Aid, and I said it's just a fun fucking album, and Hearing Aid is to me the
least fun.
song on this album.
and it is
I agree.
also the longest song.
Yeah,
on the
you said
album,
you mentioned
clocking
earlier it
3
was the
minutes
longest
and
song.
26
Did it have a
seconds.
long intro?
No,
No, it
No.
didn't.
no. It
Adam
has
does
kind of
not
a long
like
outro.
a long intro.
it did have a longer
Yeah.
outro. Yeah,
But yeah, to me, Hearing Aid was the least fun. Like, if you took this song off that album, it wouldn't be missed, in my opinion.
Okay.
Because the whole album is just like upbeat, and you can't fucking not smile while Flood is on.
that's true.
Yeah.
That is true. That is true. But even Hearing Aid, I that's why it didn't end up on my end. It was one of the ones, Hot Cha, Hearing Aid, and then They Might Be Giants were kind of like, but like,
See,
Yeah,
even like,
they're like
I fucking love They Might Be
No,
Giants.
you
no.
Because again,
you-
just the
you
back
can
of it was like
dance
They
to
Might
They
Be
Might Be
Giants.
Giants.
Oh.
so the thing I don't like about what were you about to say, Jack?
you can dance to they might be giants.
Well, you
Yeah.
can to an extent because because they have those little breaks in it, which that is what kills me with They Might Be Giants. If they took those little breaks on the hey now, you know what I mean? If they
Yeah.
took that stuff out of that
Hold
song,
on tight.
yes, exactly. Where it's just like,
Just
what
to
the fuck
keep
are you
from being
doing?
blown to the wolves.
Yes. If they took that shit out, I'd probably like the song better. But yeah, no, between those three and but then like more I listened to it, Hot Cha and Hearing Aid, like I didn't
Yeah, I don't
dislike
like
as
hearing
much as
Yeah.
They Might Be Giants. So that brings us to our Discogs value.
This is going to be a very fun,
it. While you're
interesting
doing
Discogs
that,
battle.
I'm going to ladies'
You're gonna
room.
go ladies'
I
room,
know.
All right.
I'm an old lady.
Yes, you are. So, all right. So when we were talking about this album, like I said, it was going to be on my 25. Here's the goofy thing: like when you own a couple hundred records in your personal collection, and then a few thousand down here that you actually listen to more than your own personal collection, you kind of maybe forget what's in your own collection. So I knew I had a copy of this because it was going to be on my 25, and then Adam has a copy on this. I actually thought that I had.
Which, before you go, this was one of the records that I inherited from Zach.
Okay, there you go.
So continue.
There you go. So this I actually thought, because back in the day, like we both have music on vinyl copies, and I had explained in a previous episode, the Commitments episode, that what music on vinyl generally does, it's a wonderful label out of the Netherlands, and what they generally do is they will put out an album on colored vinyl first, and then about 2 or 3 months later, they will then re-release it on black vinyl. I honestly thought that I had one of the colored vinyl versions of it. Yep, that's a cool one. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
So that's a Spotify specific press.
yeah, but
So you
it
can
still
actually-
spells
yeah.
like a color.
Yeah.
Like it's like a mix between like a lime green. And
That's
a green.
really.
Oh, yeah, that is
that's
cool.
actually really-
It's $28.
It's pretty. So, well, which is actually a really good price for that too, because the music on vinyl, 180 gram remastered, is much more. But no, that's actually the Spotify version. Spotify is pressing vinyl now, and they're having Target does the same thing. Walmart has the same thing. It's like special Target pressings, and but Spotify does the same thing.
Hot Topic as well. I've seen
Hot Topic has been
pressings
doing
as well.
vinyl forever.
Yeah.
So, I actually thought when I had purchased this for myself that I bought myself one of the colored copies. No, I bought myself a black vinyl version of this as well, which is I have the same exact pressing that Adam has. So what I wanted to do on this, and not that it would account it for my
But much
running
like
total.
in the pilot, in the first episode with On Wide Awake It's
Yes.
Morning, we both have a copy
Yes.
of that, and we figured out whose was
Yes,
worth more.
I wanted to figure out mine to be like, fuck you, dude. I see if I had this in mine, I'd be fucking Steel Train in the fucking But I don't. I have the exact same pressing as Adam does, which is a 2014 Music on Vinyl 180 gram black vinyl pressing of They Might Be Giants by Flood. Flood by They Might Be Giants.
Listen, we've had a shot of Malibu rum. We've had
some
champagne. We've had 10% pumpkin beer.
You had yogurt.
We've had yogurt.
Yes. So
Greek yogurt, whipped cream, everything.
here's. Are you gonna do some whippets?
Take a shot to
you
the
have
head.
to do a whippet, Jack.
I'm not gonna do
okay.
whippets. I'm not Jack Black on Eric Andre's show.
Okay. All right. So my son, I love him. So here's what I will say is that this actual pressing that we have, the 2014 Music on Vinyl 180 gram black vinyl pressing, is listed on OttsvilleRecordGarage.com. I do not have one currently in the garage. However, they are available from the distributor. So if you want this album, you can go to OttsvilleRecordGarage.com, look up Flood, look up this pressing, and you can set up a notification. If you set up a notification, I will then turn around and I will hit my distributor and I will get this into the fucking garage for you. And so then you can purchase it.
While you're setting up your notification, also send Paul an email to let us know what you think we should name our skunk friend.
That too, yes. And so if you want this album and you want this pressing, you can get it from OttsvilleRecordGarage.com. You just gotta set up the notification. You set up the notification. I'll get a notification that somebody wants this. I will order it from the distributor. I will get it in the garage. You will get an email that says, "Hey, They Might Be Giants Flood is in the garage. You can buy it." We also have a pretty sweet promo code on our mailing list right now, so sign up for our mailing list.
Oh
so you
shit!
can
I
take
got
advantage
that
of
email.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very nice. I'm not gonna say what it is because you have to sign up for our mailing list. So there you go. But at any rate, your MSRP for a very good plus on this is $27.20.
Not bad.
Rounding up to $28.
Fun.
Which brings your running total to $595.
Oh shit!
My running total is at $549, which means you are $46 to the good.
There you go.
Steel Train.
Fucking Steel Train. So now the question is do you expand on that? Do you do two in a row? Do I come close to fucking taking this out?
Do I get a half trick? Is what I call it.
You get a half trick? Yes, a half
Do
trick.
I get to pick?
No,
Actually, Jack's going to. You
times, Kristen.
and you're going to be on again.
Damn it!
Jack will never be on this podcast
Well,
again.
that's true unless we do this
Yes.
shot again.
Here,
Yes.
Hold this for a minute.
Yes.
That thing is so gross.
It's fucking awesome. All right, so Jack is going to pick from the box of Michael, which formerly held our skunk,
I'm
which
probably
you need
allergic to that skunk.
which you need to name for us so that
Asthma.
we can come up with it. So Jack, mix them up. Pick a good one.
No
which,
peeking.
by the way, we have a nice Rush fucking.
Oh shit! Yeah, I forgot about that.
That's another
Ooh.
thing.
I mean,
I picked
That's
up from this.
fancy.
Let me
So-
take that down to show the crowd.
Yes,
That
show the
is
crowd.
so fancy.
You got this at the same estate.
I got it
sale,
at the same estate sale.
Look at this beautiful son
All
of a
right.
bitch.
So for
Also-
those that are just listening, it's a wooden frame,
It's a nice wooden frame with a
metallic.
It's glass, dude. That's
glass.
glass.
It's a glass pentagram. I'm sorry, a gold.
That
glitter
is
pentagram.
one of their cover. I want to say it's
Yeah.
5150.
I don't fucking know.
I could be wrong, but that is the cover of 5150, I believe.
I
Hold
know
on.
that one album.
I
that's it.
need to know now.
fancy.
Rush 5150.
I-
I'm actually going to be more impressed if I actually know that. More than anything.
I would recommend the audience to listen to
Snowboards?
they're a single What of They Might
Oh
Be
no,
Giants.
that's the wrong band. 5150 is Van Halen.
They
That's why I couldn't find it.
They Might Be Giants. They released a single called "The Communists Have the Music." They have both the song "The Communists Have the Music" and the song "I've Been Seeing Things." Those are
And you said it was 2018?
2018.
Yeah.
Those are some of my favorite songs from
I'm gonna
They
have
Might
to
Be Giants.
listen to more They Might
And
Be
then
Giants. I only know Don't Let's Start and this album.
Okay.
which thing is don't
And I palindrome.
Don't Let's Start is from their first ever album of Self-Named. But Lincoln also has Kiss Me Son of God, which I think is pretty good.
Okay, so
Did you talk about why they're called They Might Be Giants?
No,
I
we
can't
didn't.
remember why, but I did read it.
The
I did read about it. I can't remember. I thought maybe you would know since
I
you
didn't.
did the factoids.
So real quick while Jack's looking that up. So this is the Starman, which is based off of the 2112 album cover.
Yeah.
Not the what did I say?
50 something.
Yeah, I was thinking of the Van Halen
other
or the Van
numbers.
Hagar, if so be it.
Some other numbers.
So yeah, so that's what it is.
Numbers are
But
hard.
at any rate, we have number 36 here.
Number
That is
36.
what
Okay.
that is what Jack
What's
pulled.
in there?
What is in here?
What color?
It's blue. It's blue. Now I do think I had some blue.
I think you did, but blue leans towards me.
Blue does lean towards you. It is you. Oh my god.
Am I coming back next week?
We fucking talked about this.
Am I coming back
It is
next
the
week?
December
Yes.
Majesty.
I was like, I know the one other album of mine that Chris is coming back
Yes.
for.
So here,
Yes!
here is the funniest
Would
thing.
you hold that for a moment?
Yes.
I will.
Here is the funniest thing about this. So we generally, like, when we put this list together,
so
good.
good.
I had sent out to certain people. I'd said, "Hey, here's the list of albums we want to
Look at
do.
the,
we want
water-
you to be
the water damage.
a guest on here."
It's still a good album.
So Kristen was actually the second guest I had listed for possibly coming on for Flood. But she had said, she's like, well, I don't know, of like, God forbid, like, you do Flood and then we pull the Decemberists. And I was just like, nobody else wants to talk about that fucking horrible album. So you can come back 2 weeks in a row. So, and then that is what we pull, the Decemberist Her Majesty. So
I
it
will
is
be
a
back next week,
it is
ladies
a
and gentlemen.
second Adam one.
Also, I can't believe you fucked up on the They Might Be Giants research because it's on their Wikipedia page on
Is
why
it?
they're called They Might
Is
Be
it?
Giants.
Why are they
Tell
calling
us
them
why. I
Giants?
forget.
The
knew I
band
read it.
assumed the name of the 1971 film They Might Be Giants, starring George Scott and Joanne Woodward, which is taken from a Don Quixote passage, according how how Quixote mistaken the windmills for evil giants.
Yes. So apparently their friend was going to do a ventriloquism act and was going to be called They Might Be Giants, and he dropped the name, so they took it.
There you go.
I do remember that part.
Okay.
Yeah. Apparently, a
Something
common
like that.
misconception of the name is reference of themselves and a allusion to a future success. Which John Flansburgh said, they might be giants are just a very outward look for the future that he liked. He clarified that in the documentary
fucking
Gargantuan. So, yeah.
All right, there you go. There you go. So, Adam, anything else?
no.
No.
Go listen to this for next week.
There you go, Kristen.
I have lots to say about next week's
All
album.
right, next
but-
week, it'll be
I'll
it'll
be
be good.
back.
All right, there you go, Kristen. We'll be back. It will be our first 2 week in a row, like not including
know.
Tom, but like
Yeah.
back to back guests.
Is
Our
this-
first 4-time guest.
I know. And your first female guest?
Yes, wow, a lot of firsts for you, Kristen.
I'm amazing.
All right.
You're
That's
also
why.
you're a Libra. You're our first Libra guest as well.
I'm a Gemini.
Oh fucking! It's all bullshit.
Why would you say that I was a Libra?
It's all bullshit because there was the first one that came to mind.
You're
We're both Gemini.
both-
You're
Geminis.
that when Mars is in retrograde.
Yeah.
I know-
Mars is in Gatorade, man.
I know what I am, and that's it.
I don't
And
know
then-
anything about the signs,
all-
except I know that Geminis are Geminis.
We're special.
We are very special.
That's the twin one, right?
Yes. Yes.
We have two personalities.
Mm-hmm. Jack, do you have anything else to add about They Might Be Giants Flood?
Nope.
Well, I am very happy. Number one, I'm very happy that you
Yes.
continue
Yes,
to
welcome.
edit our podcast and produce and direct it. But I am also very glad to finally get you on an episode.
And we all had to drink something that we thought was going to be
Yeah.
terrible.
That
It
was actually quite
manageable.
wonderful. It was pretty
Yeah.
pretty delicious. So, if that is all we have, then it is time to.
Move on.